Hi there Booktube, it's Eleanor here, and today I'm doing the Not a Booktube Newbie Tag. I was very kindly tagged in this by Stephanie from Time to Read, and this was created by Shelby from Clever Fox, and I'm just really excited to delve into some of these questions. There's one question in particular that I'm going to spend a bit of time over, so we'll whiz through the first few questions because I think most of the answers for this you will already know. So the first question is, how old is your channel? My channel started on the 7th of September 2014. I checked for this video. So I've been doing this for 2 years and 5 months, I think now, and I've just really just grown to love this community so much. Question number 2 is, what are your favourite videos to make? And actually I really enjoy my weekly wrap-ups. I really enjoy going back over a week's worth of reading and looking at the books that I've read over the week, talking to you about the books I've read. It feels more immediate for me to do it like that, and because I read quite a lot of books, it's much better for me than doing a monthly wrap-up when the book you read on the first of the month might be out of your head or not one that you can remember as much about. And I really enjoy those weekly wrap-ups as well, because at the end of the month I can look back and see my initial thoughts on the book. And I tend to be more visual, so I could write down what rating I give it and write down some thoughts, but I definitely find that if I watch back my videos for the weekly wrap-ups, it helps me to get a feeling of how I actually felt about the book, so I can see which books I've enjoyed most each month. I also more recently have really enjoyed doing readathon vlogs, vlogging my week's experience, seeing how my readathon has been going, so that's been really fun, so I enjoy making those too. Third question is advice to someone starting a channel, and I'm going to sound like a stuck record and I'm going to sound like everybody else, but really my advice is, if you want to start a booktube channel, firstly, don't worry about equipment. I film on my iPad. I just make sure that I've got sort of the light in the right direction. I film on my iPad with a little stand, and I edit on the free iMovie software on my iPad. Occasionally I use a bigger, better camera if I want to start putting pictures in and stuff, but you don't need to do that. So firstly, don't worry about not having whizzy equipment. Secondly, just do it to make friends and to share your love of books and to enjoy yourself. Don't go into this thinking that you're going to make it a career or make loads of money. That could happen as a sideline, and it is wonderful, but really you've got to go in just being yourself, looking to make friends, looking to be open to the community and getting involved, and I think that is the best way to really enjoy your booktubing experience. The next question is some of the challenges you faced when booktubing. Well, I have to say the biggest challenge for me is finding space in my house for all the books that I have started to accumulate. You'll know by now that I have got books everywhere, and the challenge for me is now finding space for them, so that's why I'm doing Shelf Slam 2017, and if you don't know about that, I will link the Shelf Slam 2017 videos down below, but ultimately I'm trying to read the books off my shelf this year and not buying books, so it's going good so far, but we'll see how we get on. The next question is some favourite books or book series that you have found through Booktube. Well, I found a lot of books through Booktube, but I want to talk a bit more generically. For me, it's been genre that's really opened my eyes. Classics were something I didn't really pick up at all before Booktube. I've read a number of classics over the past few years, some of which have definitely hit some of my favourite books. Jane Eyre, for example, Pride and Prejudice I'd never read, I just watched all the films, Count of Monte Cristo, just numerous books that I have really loved that I wouldn't have found in the classics genre, and also science fiction and fantasy books that I wouldn't have really touched so much either, really because I wouldn't know where to start, and the books that I might like, I was always a bit intimidated, and so becoming part of the SFF community and finding SFF booktubers has been amazing, specifically Kaitlin from KittyG, who I think is wonderful, and Elizabeth from Books and Pieces. Those two have really opened my eyes to science fiction and fantasy, which I love, and that's been amazing. The next question is your favourite aspects of Booktube. Again, for me, it's all about making friends, making friendships, discovering books I didn't know or wouldn't have known existed had I not found Booktube. And also, I've made real life friends. I've met friends in real life now. I've gone on holiday with my Booktube friends. It's just a really wonderful, wonderful way to connect with people that have a similar passion to you. And I think that's what makes good friends, people that you can share things with. And I love sharing my love of books with the wonderful people that I've met on Booktube. Okay, so the next one is to shout out some Booktube newbies. So I've got quite a lot of people. This isn't in any way anywhere near the amount of people that I'd like to shout out. I follow an awful lot of people on Booktube, in the 600s I think at least, and I try to watch as many as I can. So I've got a list here of ones that came up that I've been watching a lot more recently. I think all of these have got under 1,000 subscribers, so they might not be newbies, but I'm going to shout them out because I think more people need to know about them. So firstly, I want to talk about Becky from Becky Bookworm. I've recently really been enjoying her channel. Since the Christmas, she's come back with some really interesting books and really interesting videos, and she took part in the 24 and 48 readathon, which I also took part in, so we were chatting on Twitter, and I've just really been enjoying her channel. Nextly, I want to mention Ashley from Downright Bookish. I really love watching her channel. She reads books which I often haven't heard about, and I've really enjoyed listening to her reviews. I find her very interesting in the reviews that she does and the way that she talks about books. Next is Meryl from A Blackbird's Books. Meryl has quite similar taste to me in books, and I've really been enjoying what she's been doing with her channel. She's doing this year, I think, a sort of Booktube favourites, so she's taken some books that she's seen on people's videos and their favourites for 2016, and she's reading those, which I think is a really lovely idea. Next is Kerry Ann from Woman vs Books. Kerry Ann has been a long time commenter on my channel. It wasn't until recently that I realised that she actually had a channel herself, so I've found it wonderful to go over and put a face to the person that I've been chatting to, and I've really been enjoying watching her thoughts on books. And lastly, I want to mention Emma from Drinking by My Shelf. I love the pun in that title, and Emma often has a tipple on hand when she's doing her videos. My favourite videos so far have been her talking about a book in, I think it's 60 seconds or a minute. She's very succinct, very interesting. I'm loving what she's doing with Emma Tobias. They're doing a girls sort of sex in books and coming of age stories. I'll link that video down below because I think that book club that they're doing is going to be really interesting, and I'm already intrigued to pick up the first book that they've talked about that they read together. So yeah, I just think she's doing really interesting things with her channel, and she's really engaging and just really nice to watch. So yes, that is all of the people that I want to mention. And in terms of tagging, I think I would like to tag Brittany from Undertheradarbooks, and Kaitlin from KittyG, and Mercedes from Mercy's Bookish Musings. So they are the three people that I would like to tag for this, and obviously any of you, if you fancy doing it and you're not a Booktube newbie, and if you're a Booktube newbie, let me know down below, because I really enjoy finding people's videos and discovering new Booktube channels. Anyway, that was my answers to the questions, and I hope you check out some of the people that I've shouted out. I will link all of their channels down below so it's easy for you to find them. Anyway, that's it from me, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Bye for now, Booktube.